Yeah, okay, you read the title. This video, especially, alright, might be the point of no return for me because for a while now I've been getting like a billion allegations per second, and this one may or may not confirm them depending on how you look at it. But yeah, I had a dream that made me realize I low-key like dudes. So, let's just get into it, alright? So, unlike my other videos, this one starts maybe 2 years ago or so. I had already graduated from high school, and I think I was like a year or so into college. At this point of my life, okay, I was like pretty convinced that I was hetero romantic, or at the very least, somewhat sensually attracted to girls. I know that sounds kind of weird, but whatever. Essentially, what I'm getting at is I knew I liked girls to some degree, but that was about it, really. Soon enough, though, something would happen that would, might have just changed that a little bit. So around that time, I met this dude online. He just so happened to be gay, a gay guy, alright? And look, I meet plenty of gay dudes on the internet, alright? So this wasn't my first rodeo. This isn't like the first time I met a gay dude online. I mean, dude, it's practically impossible to go anywhere online without running into one of these things just roaming about, okay? But whatever. So this guy and our friendship was like super duper shallow. I met him on this Discord server. I didn't know him that well. I talked with him a few times about video games or whatever because that's all we could really talk about. But that was pretty much it. And at one point, I got invited to a group chat with him and some of his other friends. In this group chat that we were in, he sent a photo of himself. In the photo, he was just like showing off like this new hoodie that he got. And to be honest, I can't really remember exactly what it looked like now, but I do remember it looking like really freaking comfy. Like, it's so interesting because the photo didn't even have his face in it. I guess probably because he didn't want people to know what he looked like or something. I don't know why though, when I saw this picture, I just thought, dang, that looks really nice and comfy. I mean, obviously there's nothing like inherently weird about that. I mean, I've had similar moments like that with other photos I've seen, but like more specifically, just ones of people in hoodies. Hoodies are comfy, man. All right. I don't want to get too backtracked, but like stuff like that is just. I don't know. It's just been eye candy for me, bro. Like, I don't know. I get it's like not inherently gay or anything, and I definitely, didn't think to myself, man, I really want to date that dude, or oh, let me just get my hands on that boy. I don't like that, obviously. Okay, it's whatever. I just thought it looked super nice. However, this time was especially different for me, okay? So, sure, I looked at this photo that this guy sent, and, I thought the usual, oh, looks comfy, and that was about it. I didn't think anything of it. So I went to bed that night, and, I was feeling pretty normal. Nothing really out of the ordinary. And, that night I slept like a rock somehow. And I remember having a very, very strange dream that I had never had before. I had never had a dream of the likes in my entire life. In said dream, okay, I was on a couch, and this is when it gets weird. In the dream, I was laying on the chest of this dude I met online, and he was wearing that hoodie, alright? And keep in mind, I didn't even really know what he looked like at that time, so, like, I kind of just, like, remember it, like, being kind of, like, fuzzy. Like, the dream itself was very fuzzy, blurry, foggy, even. I don't really know. You couldn't really make out a whole lot. I kind of remember this sort of really weird, divine, like, white vignette around everything, sort of, kind of, just to make everything just a tad bit more angelic for some freaking reason, but whatever. But like, dude, okay, it's funny though, because, here I am, literally snuggling with this guy, and, he's like petting my hair and hugging me and caressing my back and stuff, and, okay, look, man, I really hate to say it, but I liked it. Okay, I mean, really, it felt blissful, the entire experience. It was freaking wonderful. And look, okay, I had had plenty of dreams prior about both guys and girls, about similar things, not exactly this verbatim, okay, but this time in particular felt like very special. Like, I don't know. I can't say any of my prior dreams had ever really changed my way of thinking, but like this one definitely did in such a crazy way. The following morning after I had that dream, I woke up feeling like really refreshed. But like, here's the funniest part. Like, at first, I didn't even remember the dream at all. So like, I woke up, I like checked the time on my phone, saw that it was like 8 a.m. or something like that. It was the weekend, and I just like reached over, grabbed a plushie, and just like laid there a little while and thought. And then suddenly, I thought of something that triggered my dream recall, and it was like a flashbang, dude. And like, I remembered it immediately in perfect detail. Think of sort of like Light Yagami after touching the Death Note and regaining all his memories from when he was Kira or whatever. That's sort of what it felt like, okay? Like, just like the sudden realization, like, yep, that happened. It was freaking crazy. I felt like super confused after that because like it made me feel a very interesting way that I just wasn't used to. All right. Look, as I mentioned, okay, I used to really only have those sorts of feelings for girls. Okay. The only types of people that I wanted to, hug or cuddle with or hold hands with or whatever, they were going to be girls, okay? But now I find myself actively wanting to like go back into the dream for more. Go back into the dream for round 2. I'm in it to win it, buddy. That was the freaking weird part about it though. The weird thing, okay, about this entire ordeal was the fact that it was with a dude, aka a guy, aka a male, aka a person with a flippin' willy, okay, man? Overall, like, very new for me. I had never experienced anything like that before. That sort of like innate like desire to go back and do it again. Like I wanted to like just lay there for a few more hours with this guy, even though I didn't even really know him that well. And after having that dream, I started to see a lot of guys in a very different way. Before I'd see guys, but I wouldn't really think anything of it. It'd just be like, oh yeah, like that's a guy. Like, freaking pattern recognition or whatever. Like I could just identify them, okay? But after though, like whenever I saw a nice looking guy who was dressed in a super comfy or cozy way, my brain would connect it with the dream, and I started, getting the primal urge to cuddle with them. Okay, occasionally. It didn't happen all the time, but sometimes it happened. And yes, before you ask, okay, this was more intense whenever I was hungry, okay? If you don't know what I'm talking about with that, I urge you to please watch this other video I made called I Turn Gay When I'm Hungry. It will pretty much explain everything that you need to know in terms of background for this. And yes, as much as I hate to admit it, it is 100% true. Everything I say in that video is factual. I do genuinely turn gay when I'm hungry. But okay, whatever. This is still a very new feeling for me, okay? Even though it started like 2 years ago, it's still just like I'm still trying to get accustomed to it, trying to get myself in the homo groove, you feel me? It's like it's just a lot, dude, okay? And I mean, look, okay, I know the extent to which I like guys, which is about the same extent to which I like girls, which, is still very, very limited. And, this all sort of sprouted out of nowhere. So, I mean, who's to say it's really any different? If I'm not going to call myself straight for how I feel about girls, why should I have to call myself gay for how I feel about guys? You know what I mean? I mean, dude, I draw the line at cuddling, personally, okay? Am I gonna bite the bullet now and just flat out say that I'm gay? Well, no, I'm not going to, all right? I know this ain't exactly the straightest of situations, all right? But I still wouldn't really call it romantic, and I wouldn't say that this is really a gay thing per se. Okay, of course it depends on how you look at it, man. Hey, it's in the eye of the beholder, man. And you, my friend, are the beholder, okay? If you think this is gay, man, look, man, your headcanon version of Gato Finglo is gay, bro. Let him do him, alright? But this guy, me, as I see it, dude, man, no, I don't think so. At least for now. I mean, time will tell. Still, nonetheless, okay, I can't deny what's right in freaking front of me. Okay, this dream made me realize something about myself that I never previously thought about, which is that I kinda want to snuggle with dudes. Oh, but hey, what can you do, right? This is all a super crazy situation. Again, it's crazy, okay? This is like, there's so many overlaps, bro. I'm like building this freaking blueprint of who I am as a person with all of my craziest, most embarrassing stories imaginable. If you watch my videos, you're gonna know me better than my bestest friends in life, dude. But whatever. Okay, I don't really got anything else to talk about. I do want to mention that I have a Discord server. If you want to come on in, say hi to the folks, hey man, we tend to be pretty welcoming, so come on in, okay? Additionally, we got some fan art. This is really, really cool. I think there were probably at this point nearly 100 fan art drawings of me. Super creepy, super cool at the same time though, and honestly, I'm all there for it, bro. This is wonderful. Also, now on my channel, there's an option to join a membership. I got one tier in one of my other videos. I said I had 2 tiers. The second one doesn't exist anymore, so forget about it, okay? There's one tier. It costs $5, and it's just if you really, really, really want to support me, obviously no pressure or anything. It's just, people have told me that they wanted to before, so just throwing it out there, okay? But this is a wonderful opportunity to connect with my fans. Anyways, though, I think I'm going to call it there. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!